Okay, so we have Sherfane Rutherford from Cricket West Indies B team. Congratulations on the amazing performance today, the first one of the tournament, almost right before the end. So just talk about your performance, talk about your team's overall performance, and what you're going to do now to prepare for the championship match.
Well, first of all, I want to make it as possible. And going into the finals, 20-hour preparation. Well, first of all, today I was under a little confidence. Coming into this game, I know I had to score some runs. So I backed myself, backed my ability, and it paid off today.
Go ahead.
Tasneem, Gorilla Cricket, London. Congratulations on an excellent performance. What kind of mental strength does it take to come in when you're 11 for 3 and batsmen like Greaves, who have been incredibly consistent this whole tournament, haven't performed, and you come in and you know you have to make a big score?
Well, it's confidence, because losing the wickets, I could have said, slow down, but in our meeting, our coach always told us one thing, that no matter the wicket, you just always back yourself, be confident, and that will work for us.
Yeah. So I understand that you did very well for Guyana last year in the domestic Super 50s. Is that the same kind of energy that you're going to take to Guyana this year for the CPL?
Well, yes. Nothing will change. And even I want to go with more performance into the CPL and help my team in any way that I can.
Anybody else? Colin, go ahead. We'll get back to you.
How is your mindset adjusting as a batsman, batting all these different positions for the last 6 months?
Well, I'm a batting around mostly, so whether I open or bat 4, I just always tell myself that I have to take that opportunity and make the best use out of it. So it's a bit of adjusting, but it's all about stay focused and go through the process.
Yeah, congratulations on the innings. I just want to ask you, you had a big run rate that you had to catch up with, but at the same time you weren't hitting every ball, you were still rotating in the striking zone. So was that part of your plan?
Yeah, well, I was batting with Nicholas Pura, and I know that he's one of the cleanest hitter of the ball. So I tell him that I'm going to try to bat around him more. You could go after the bowling, and if anything, I will catch up and try and bring the game close as possible to the end for the rest of the batsmen that have to come.
In the last over with 13 to win, were you a bit nervous that Skipper Bramble was going to have so much strike, or were you confident you could hit the runs if it came down to it?
Oh, I wasn't that nervous. I know he could do it because he's a very good player of spin especially. So I wasn't that nervous, but coming down to the last ball, I was kind of, but it all come out in the end, that the way it was.
So a lot of boundaries, a lot of 4s, a lot of 6s, very high strike rate in your innings. What does it mean to have the first century of an inaugural tournament?
Well, it's a very good feeling. Because I started the tournament very slow, I wasn't getting that start, I got to start it out. So I was telling myself that before the tournament out, I have to at least get a big score and help my team. And today was a perfect day.
Anyone else?
Hello to everyone, another exciting episode of Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and we are in day number 13 of Global T20 Cricket Canada, the first ever of its own kind here in North America. This is the very first edition have been run by the cricket group Mercury, and I have told you previously that this would go on for the next 20 to 30 years according to the contract, and we are here at the very end of the tournament. So today it was a big day. 2 matches have to be played, one at 11 o'clock as I told you yesterday and one at 4. The first one to be played was the first match which was the qualifier. That was between the top two teams of the tournament, and those top two teams were surprisingly Cricket B West Indies were on the second, and the first team was the Vancouver Knights. And the second match, afternoon match, 4 o'clock, actually that was the repetition and the action replay of the game we saw yesterday. I mean, Winnipeg Hawks versus Edmonton Royals, but this was eliminator. So one who will lose have to go home. But before we discuss the two games, I'm not alone today in the match point, and I'm having Mustafa Ismail, sports journalist, with me from India and Dubai. Yes, Mustafa, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm doing good. Doc Saab, how's everything? How are you?
Yes, everything is going good, and the cricket spirit is good, and we saw some fantastic, extraordinary two matches. What about the games?
Absolutely brilliant. I think the first game was the match of the tournament for me by far. Not only was it high scoring, but the quality of cricket we saw on display in the first game was absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed it. What about you?
Yep, it was extremely fantastic game. So going to the first game, Mustafa, if we see, so that was all about the qualifying match, the Vancouver Knights versus Cricket B West Indies, and after they won the toss, they put the opposition into the bat, while the Kedwick Walton was the top of the line with 54 brilliant innings on the 24 balls, and Chris Gale, who was earlier Chris Fail, and finally his bat started giving runs and he made a 50.
Yeah, he did. He made 50 of 44 balls. But what I noticed about his innings was he played an anchor. It wasn't a typical Chris Gale innings. You know, you expect Gale to come out and hit sixes and fours. That's what Walton was doing. But actually, Gale was playing the anchor role, single double. He wasn't connecting as would like Gale to connect. But but one thing he did good was that he kept the wickets intact. So the likes of Babar Hayat and Andre Russell, they could come in and smack the ball. So it was a different role from Gale, but it was something which I enjoyed because something unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what he's doing in the Kings 11 Punjab and what he is doing in the Royal Challengers Bangalore earlier in the Karachi Kings, right? He is Mustafa is actually saying perfectly, because we didn't see the typical Gale innings. It was not the typical because he was sporting on the other end, but even then he made the 50s. And then Mustafa, the excellent knockdown, the order for the Dusen and Babar Hayat to accelerate.
Yeah, that was absolutely really good knocks from both of them. I think they had the license because they knew Gale is at one end. They knew that even if they lose their wicket, there will be other hitters. So they took their chance, and both of them, you know, they've played a few knocks in this tournament which have been decent. And you saw again they found the boundary with these, and it helped Vancouver get such a high score. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and the score they made in the given quota of 20 overs was 215 for the loss of 6 wickets, and the target which was given to the Cricket B West Indies, which is known to be the giant killer in this tournament, the target was 216. And would you believe what they did it? They did it in a style. Wow, take a bow. And they chased it, and I was not believing when I was coming back and I was driving back to the stadium. I was not believing, and especially when the 3 early wickets fell down. It was so tough. It was so tough. But you see the commitment of guys.
I had to pinch myself, to be honest. When I was 11 for 3, I was just waiting to see when it'll wrap up. I had no idea that they're going to chase this down. I never thought they would, especially for 11 for 3, like you said. But then Rutherford and Puran, they just batted outstandingly. And youngsters, they're like only 19, 18 years old. And the way they batted was, especially Rutherford, it wasn't like they were trying to hit every ball slog. It was a small ground. They could have tried to hit every ball, but they were rotating the strike well. They knew that they didn't want to play dot balls and just swing and miss. So they rotated the strike, but then the big overs came and they just batted brilliantly. The power was amazing. One shot, Rutherford, he hit it and it came to the media box, and I was there, and I could still see like some marks. It just shows the power these youngsters have and the confidence. You know what I mean? Like they're just 19, 20. They're playing against seniors of their own team, like Andre Russell, Chris Gale. These people are international players. They're not scared. The West Indies B team are not scared at all. They're just playing some fearless cricket, and and they're energetic as well.
And they could be a very surprising and a good addition to the upcoming West Indian team, who will have to get rid of Gale and the other aging players. This could have been turned out a very tremendous T20 team.
Yeah, no doubt. This is actually an audition for them. I'm sure the likes of Gale and Russell will be passing it on to the the selectors that these kids are there, and it's on display. Like everyone's watching how good they are. I'm sure this is the future of West Indian cricket.
And the beauty of the game was this, that the Justin Greaves, over him the team was relying in the past. Justin Greaves got out cheaply in the beginning, and also the Shamar Springer and the Brendan King also got out cheaply. But then Rutherford, this was the beauty of the team. Rutherford, who was not clicking in the previous games. We were seeing Nicholas Pooran, we were seeing Fabius Allen, but Justin we were seeing 2 times we saw him chasing, but this man Rutherford was not working, and today his magic worked out and he became the first centurion of the Global T20 Canada in the North American soil. In this league, he is the first man to enter into the triple figures, and that was so amazing. 134 on 66 balls, smashing all around this small ground of King City.
Absolutely amazing. This was the best knock of the tournament, like you said, the first 100 as well. It was absolutely amazing just to watch the shots he was playing, and there were proper cricketing shots in the V. It wasn't like he was playing scoops behind the wicket or anything. He was playing in the V, proper cricketing shots, and it was just a delight to watch for everybody.
Yeah. And down the order, Nicholas Pooran came to rescue when in the end Nicholas Pooran gave him the very solid stand on the wicket, and he also got not out on 44. He got out actually on 44. Anthony Bramble was not out on 23, so they chased down 221 for 4 wickets at the end of the day, and they became victorious, and the first team who made their entry to the finals grand finale on the 15th of this month. So first team to enter and to mark themselves safe, and now they will have to wait for the match which will be between the winner of eliminator and the loser of qualifier. They will have to wait. And the pick of the bowlers, as we see, all the bowlers were struggling, but the one man Andre Russell, who was playing very good for the Kolkata Knight Riders, Islamabad United, he became so expensive. 1 wicket, 4 overs and 46 runs. And even Tim Southee, one of the better bowlers, the World Cup 2015 bowler, Tim Southee was struggling, and Mustafa, I was seeing that when the pressure was there, he has given the 3 wide balls at the end.
Yeah, the pressure told on them, and it's surprising. They're the more experienced players. You know, they've played in, like you said, World Cup matches. They've played leagues all around the world. Against this young team, they were feeling the pressure, and it was something you don't really see. It's very unique. Like, you know, the more experienced players under pressure and making mistakes, where the youngsters are doing everything right under pressure.
Yeah, and at the end, Cricket B West Indies win by 6 wickets, and they rang the bell of danger for their opponents that get ready, we are in the final. So it would be a very interesting final, whoever will be the team. So second match, which is the afternoon match, has to be taken place. Actually the replay match between the Edmonton Royals and between the Winnipeg Hawks. Winnipeg Hawks, the team of David Warner, the team of Ben McDermott, team of Lendl Simmons, and the Edmonton Royals, the team of Lala, Shahid Khan, Afridi, Irfan, Sohail Tanveer, lot of Pakistani breed over here, star-studded Pakistan side, Agha Salman over here. We will go to the second match, interesting match between the Winnipeg Hawks and Edmonton Royals, but time is here for a short break. Along with me, Mustafa Ismail, I am Dr. Adnan, and you are watching Match Point. We will be right back.
Okay, so we have Shahid Afridi here from the Edmonton Royals. So Shahid, just talk about the team's performance and your play today.
Well, I think the team combination was very good. Unluckily, like in the first 2 games, I think we didn't field well, we batted well, we bowled well. But I think sometimes it's very difficult to bowl pitch like this. But I think as far as my performance is concerned, I think that was 0. And like what I said before in the tournament, that I'm here to see myself here. I'm standing as fitness wise, but I think I need some more rest and some more rehabilitation as well.
Naseem Sadiq, Gorilla Cricket, London. Lala, it was a good team, a very well-rounded bowling team. The batting fell a little bit short. I understand that you bought a Super 9s team locally, the Shahid Afridi Club.
Yeah.
What do you see your role in developing cricket in Canada?
I think last time when I met the mayor of Toronto, I think he told me to do something for cricket here. So I said, okay, then I will go with the team club, and that what Amin is running very well, mashallah. And That what he said, that maybe in the future we're gonna give you the cricket ground, so it's good for the cricketers here. This tournament is very good, especially the players who want to show their skills. So there was a great opportunity to them and show them.
Local players in your teams, how do you rate them and what's your opinion on them?
I think local players are very good. I think I know some of the players, they didn't get the chance, but in the practice session I saw them very good pacers, good physique, fit enough, and I think maybe in the future if they play and they focus and they play and look after themselves, so I think they will definitely gonna play for their teams.
Shahid, I'm not sure if you answered this question at some earlier point in the tournament, but you were supposed to be the captain of this team. Is there any reason why you stepped down from the captaincy?
Yeah, because I was not totally 100% fit, so that's why I didn't take a chance. I don't. Captain should be always set example for others. So I was not fit, and that like what I said before, that I want to see myself where I was standing. I think Suhail Tanveer was the best choice, and I think I told them, give me a rest. I don't want to play. I'm not 100%, but they still want me to play. So I think it's fine. I'm enjoying myself. Everyone want me to lead the team, but I think as a player, I'm enjoying. After Pakistan retirement, I think I'm not really interested to do a captaincy.
So just a bit of a follow-up. So even though you weren't the official captain of the team, were you still finding yourself giving advice or setting fields or making plans?
Sometime wherever the captain need me, if they want my advisors, so definitely I participate in that.
Lala, there was some good performances.
Sorry, just-
No, apologies, yeah.
Islam Shahid. I just want to ask you about playing cricket in Canada. How did you enjoy it? You played in the Sahara Cup as well. And do you think there's going to be future matches here, international matches?
I think if you want to success this league, I think it's not. Don't play just in Toronto. I think we should play in other cities as well, and you can take it that this cricket to America as well. Why not? So I think if we want to promote cricket in this region, I think we should have to take in another cities and America as well.
Shahid, have you seen enough of you in Toronto? Are you going to come back? And any words on the recent matches where Pakistan defeated Australia? Good combination. Were you happy to see that?
I think so far it's so good. I think, mashallah, under Sarfraz captaincy, the team is leading very well. I think very good. And I think Mickey, the way he's taking the team and supporting the youngster is a good sign.
Some big performances from players that a lot of people might not have heard of or seen before, like Abba Salman, Agaz, and Shema as well. What advice do you have for players who are starting at their careers, how they develop themselves?
I think on this stage, they don't need advice. They just focus what they're doing and give 100%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back on the Match Point. We welcome you on the Match Point on E-Awaz, and we are discussing the second match of today in the Global T20 to be played on the King City, 40 kilometers north of Toronto, and the important match in which one team will have to go home. The match was actually the action replay of yesterday. The match was between Edmonton Royals and Winnipeg Hawks. So this is a classic eliminator. The loser will have to go home and the winner will have to meet the Vancouver Knights. So what's up next? The match was very interesting, and the Winnipeg captain David Warner, after winning the toss, put the opposition once again into the bat, and Edmonton Royals came to the bat, and we were failed to see, Mustafa, the classics of the Luke Ronchi. Yet in this tournament I have not seen the typical Luke Ronchi, and today I was expecting that if typical Luke Ronchi magic works, it will be far difficult for the David Warner's Winnipeg Hawks to save the match. But unfortunately, Luke Ronchi got out cheaply on 25 after facing 14 balls.
Yeah, absolutely. He got off to a good start. He was finding the boundary, but I think he just has not adjusted to this Toronto pitch. It's not been the best pitch anyway, but yeah, I think he likes the ball coming onto the bat, the bounce and everything, like in New Zealand. And he hasn't, what he showed in the PSL, he hasn't showed here at all. It has been a disappointment. Like you said, if he got going, he can score hundreds even in a T20 match. So like you said, yes, it has been disappointing. But they had a good start. The Ronchi and Fletcher, they both got off to a good good start. They going 10 and over in the first 6 overs. Both were finding the boundary with ease. But then after Ronki left, Agha Salman came and he was.
Agha Salman came and brilliantly he played. Agha Salman was so impressive in this tournament with the ball, with the bat. In the one match, he was man of the match also. Second match, which they lost, the replay match yesterday. In that also, Agha Salman hit the 50. And this match also, he was going to hit 50. And Mustafa is absolutely right. I agree with you. When he was playing along with the Fletcher, the things were going very smooth. And Agha Salman making the 44, but very unfortunate that he got out. But then when Fletcher was playing along and the Shahid Khan Afridi, I think the major turn came in the game because Lala came and there was some, I think, misunderstanding and the set batsman got out and all the team went into the imbalance.
Yeah, that had to be the turnaround because Agha Salman, he was playing amazing, 44 of just 18 balls. Even when he got out, they were still on in the front seat, and I thought they'll make 215, 220 like the first game.
Agha Sahab was very unhappy. I was seeing he was smashing the bat on the pad.
Yeah, he was because the shot was a poor shot, you know, and if he just played a bit more sensibly, he would have crossed 50 easily and probably got them to a 220 score. But still, their score was pretty decent. But the turnaround has to be the Fletcher run out. Afridi was a wrong call from him, but that was a turnaround because Fletcher was also the in batsman and he was batting really well. After that, they just depleted and the Winnipeg took full advantage of that with the ball.
So the Shahid Khan Afridi, the misunderstanding, and he came out and what he did with the Agha Salman, the same thing. The magic was not at all working for the Edmonton Royals, and Shahid Khan Afridi also messed up into another run out, and this time he was himself. And Shahid Khan Afridi, he was out cheaply on the 5 after facing 8 balls, and then Farhan Beharuddin and Shaiman Anwar, the UAE and the Springbok came with 18 and 16 down the order, but I think that was not enough to make and to post the huge total that should have been necessary for the eliminators.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the start they got, they were going more than 10 runs and over, probably around 12, and they should have got at least 200. That was probably the minimum on this pitch.
And that would have been very tough for the Winnipeg Hawks. We would have been seen very exciting game, challenging game.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been really difficult because as soon as you get 200 on the board, that mental pressure kicks in, and the Winnipeg might have got scared a bit and made mistakes. But 180 on this pitch, especially after watching the first game, and with Warner now starting to hit form, it wasn't probably the best score. And Edmonton will be very disappointed with the way they ended the first innings. That's probably cost the game. And the turning point was, like you said, Fletcher's run out. Right?
Yeah, Fletcher's run out because the whole proportion and the momentum of the game shifted out in the balance in the favor of Winnipeg Hawks.
Absolutely.
And down the order, Mustafa, I was amazed that a big Irishman, Kevin O'Brien, he is also a massive destructor of the opposition. He pinned down Pakistan back in the 2007. He's a guy who is a power hitter. Kevin O'Brien also, we couldn't see him in the form in the whole tournament. And the same like I saw Kevin O'Brien and got out cheaply on 2. And Sohail Tanveer is the most amazing man and the most expensive Pakistan player to be picked by Guyana Amazon Warriors in the CPL. His magic also not started working in this league. Sohail Tanveer down the order, Kevin O'Brien, Wayne Parnell, Hassan Khan, Mohammad Irfan, all in the whole numbers and not able to touch the double figures.
Yeah, it's been very shocking. These are, like you said, these are very big names. They've played international cricket, but it just did not click for them. And that's the reason why Edmonton have been eliminated, because they haven't had one performance for any of these 3-4 big players. And that's what's cost them this tournament. You need a team effort. It can't just be one player, but yeah.
So the total went out on 183 for the loss of 9 wickets in the given quota of 20 overs. Still, with the pace battery like Sohail Tanveer and Irfan with a Pakistan pace and typical Hassan Khan, we were expecting that this could have been the challenging score and this could have been the turnout game, and it was a defendable target with this kind of bowling. And even Shahid Khan Afridi himself is unorthodox and he can bowl leg breaks and the quicker ones. We were expecting it would have been a tough match, but the one man in the form and the powerhouse of Australia, the green baggy cap David Warner, he punished them in a style along with the junior McDermott, Ben McDermott, and we were expecting something not to be happening for the fortunes of Edmonton Royals, but Winnipeg Hawks did it in style. But before going to the Winnipeg Hawks, I may tell you that the pick of the bowlers were Rayad Imret. Rayad Imret with the 4 overs, he threw away 4 wickets for the 28 runs, while Ali Khan the American hero, USA hero, was little expensive with a 4 overs, 1 wicket and 38 runs. But none of the other bowlers was impressive. Lendl Simmons, 4 overs, 1 wicket and 33 runs. Even Lendl Simmons was not quite fit, as yesterday he injured his thumb. Today he was not fully fit, but it was good and encouraging to see him back for the team.
Yeah, it was very good. He's a pretty good player, and he contributes both with the bat and now you see with the ball. Even yesterday he took a couple of wickets which are very important. So Simmons is a crucial part of this team.
And David Warner, coming back to the powerhouse of Hawks, David Warner bat was not throwing away runs. As we saw Steve Smith, the dejected Australian captain, the very first game, which was the record total 228, was chased by Toronto Nationals. We saw Steve Smith and Darren Semi making the runs. But so far, until before yesterday, David Warner's bat was not scoring runs. But yesterday was the day when first time David Warner scored, and today these are the signs of a big player running and doing score in the important games, in the knockout games. This is the beauty of Team Australia. Performing in the pressure game, crunch game, performing in the game on the top, and attack the opposition and never let them come back in the game. And the formula worked the same for this Aussie. David Warner, magnificent 55 on 36 balls, and then Lendl Simmons also making 20 on the 22 balls, 33, and then came the Ben McDermott, Junior McDermott, the whole family of McDermott, the only batsman in the huge family of McDermott, and he did it, and he showed why he is the batsman in the whole McDermott family. And he made magnificently 65 on 39 balls, and he remained the man of the match.
Yeah, what an innings McDermott played. It was a pleasure to watch. He was smashing the ball to all parts of the ground, and that was the key. And honestly, what you're saying about David Warner, I completely agree. Yeah, he's a big match player, and he showed it. He didn't do anything this whole tournament, and just before the playoffs yesterday, he scored a 40-odd innings, and then today, when his team needed it, he scored a 50, and that set up the chase for them. And then McDermott came and finished it. Of course, he batted magnificently as well. So it was, that innings was also.
And he rang the danger bell for the Cricket B West Indies, or either for the Vancouver Knights. It's a danger bell for them. David Warner, signs of David Warner coming back into the form.
Yeah.
It could have been dangerous to any oppositions, whether they are against the Sunrisers Hyderabad, or whether they are against the Sydney Sixers, or whether they are against Team Australia, or whether they are against the Winnipeg Hawks. So at the end, Mustafa, match became interested. Mark Doyle, he got out on 12 when Darren Bravo came. He was playing 6 on 6, not out, but then it was run a ball, and surprisingly we were told that Shahid Khan Afridi will not bowl because of his backache, but suddenly he was given the ball, and the first ball was the dot ball, and then suddenly the bye runs. Don't you think little bit unlucky? Edmonton Royals was unlucky, but it would have also been the bad luck if Winnipeg Hawks would have lost the match. They really played like the champs.
Yeah, of course, like Winnipeg deserved this victory, but I think the Edmonton missed a trick. I think Afridi should have bowled earlier, because the way he bowled the last over, he was beating the bat. He bowled maybe just one bad ball, otherwise he was beating the bat. He should have bowled earlier, because there's nothing to lose after with 4 or 5 overs to go. If they brought him in the second or third last over, maybe he would have picked up a couple of wickets and put more pressure, but the last over was a bit too much. But yeah, Winnipeg were far the better team. Even in the field, you could see the energy. David Warner and all the boys, they were backing each other on the field. Edmonton didn't have that body language, the positive body language that Winnipeg did, and they were deservedly they go into the next match, and whoever wins that will go into the final. So it's a virtual semi-final.
So the next game now, what's next now, Mustafa? Tomorrow is a rest day, and then the very important game, the eliminator, the second eliminator. The one who will lose the game, they will have to go out. So the match is in between the Knights and between the Hawks. So what's up? What do you think? David Warner versus Chris Gayle.
It's going to be a cracker of a match, I think. Warner versus Gayle. Vancouver, they don't have the same energy as Winnipeg, but they have the skill. You see Andre Russell with the bat, with the ball in the field.
Calcutta Knight Riders, Islamabad United, a terrific form, man in the CPL. He's in big form.
Yeah, he's Superman when it comes to these T20 leagues. He's amazing. So it's going to be a really good match. But I think David Warner holds the key again for Winnipeg. If he performs, if he can score a 50, because his 50s are not just run a ball, they're like in 30-20 balls which can change the shape of the match. So his form will be important. And then for Vancouver, it's their bowlers as well. I think they have slightly stronger bowlers than Winnipeg, But on this, like we're so far at this tournament, it's just on that day whoever has a better day will win. I think I'm going for Winnipeg just because I think Warner has that ability as a captain to charge his team up and get them ready. Whereas Gale is he's an amazing batsman, no doubt, but like he probably
Calm and quiet,
but he's more
not
calm.
giving the expressions.
He doesn't give
But you are right that Winnipeg Hawks finally did it in style, and they are in a very nice rhythm and in the winning combo. So they will have an edge on the Knights because they are in the winning position. They are in their morale is up. Their last 3 games were terrific and excellent, and coming already from the eliminator, so their morale will be up than the Knights.
Yeah, of course. And you saw after the Vancouver game, the Knights game today, you saw the players were deflated. Andre Russell was standing at long gone, and he sat down. He was upset. You could see that it hurt them. The loss, especially after posting 215, you don't expect to lose the game with 11 for 3. You don't expect to lose the game, so they'll be hurting Vancouver. And now it'll be interesting to see how they pick themselves up. Can they pick themselves up and move on to the next game? If they take baggage from this game, then they won't be able to win that game.
So in short, at the end, it's time to say goodbye. But before we give you the final verdict, that today the Cricket B West Indies team became the first team to reach the grand finale in the qualifiers, and they beat the Chris Gale's team, Vancouver Knights. And Vancouver Knights will now wait for the today's champions. That was the eliminator. Winnipeg Hawks eliminated Edmonton Royals out of this tournament along with the Montreal Tigers and Toronto Nationals. Now tomorrow is a rest day, and day after tomorrow, when the play will be resumed, at that day a very crunch game and a very crucial game, the weekend game, lot of crowd is expected, and that will be between the arch rivals Winnipeg Hawks versus Vancouver Knights. Mustafa, pick your team.
I'm going for Winnipeg in that game.
What I can't say no Vancouver Knights because he's already said, but Winnipeg Hawks is obviously is a powerhouse and more prone to win the game. Till then, you need to tune into the EOA's Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and when we will come back day after tomorrow, we will tell you what is going on the pitch and who is winning the toss and what are the probabilities, what are the strength and what are the weakness of both the teams. Till then, we have to sign off from here. Take care and bye-bye.